Dive. I will be your underwater biologist today. We have Emil on camera, and on the surface we have Lauren. So I wanted to start by showing just under Emil here, we have a little juvenile yellow-tailed damselfish. Just under here, Emil, on this bommy, this blue fish, just right on this bommy here. Just here.
Oh,
so
yeah,
isn't this a magnificent creature? We have seen the full-grown adult, the yellow-tailed damselfish, but this is the juvenile phase. So they will lose these blue spots, not completely, but mostly as they mature.
So cute.
So sorry, I got so excited about that, I forgot to do a proper introduction. So I'm Patrick, your underwater biologist. We have Emil on camera, and on the surface we have Lauren. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to send them in, and if you're on Twitter, use that hashtag diveLIVE.
Yep, hi everybody, welcome to our second dive of today. We do have a comment from Mars54 saying she's so happy we're back and we're happy to be back.
Yeah.
So Pat, it looks like you're quite shallow. What's your depth?
Yeah, so I'm only at 6 meters, so that's only about 20 feet down. So we're going to head a little deeper and head out this way and go on the reef and see what we can find.
I'm trying to think what I'm after today. Well, you do know that I'm always after an octopus. And possibly even a nurse shark today. I've got a good feeling, Pat. So please do let us all know what you would like to see. Keep it relevant, of course. And any questions, we will do our best to answer them. So please do chat on either Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter using the hashtag diveLIVE.
So today I'm going to be keeping my eye out for a nurse shark. We haven't had one of those for quite some time, so I would really like to feast my eyes on one of those, such as some angelfish, some triggerfish, and hopefully a clean triggerfish. That would be unreal.
Yeah, and I would love to identify some new fish. We are getting very good at identifying the species now, and we're kind of running out of new ones. So Emil and Pat, keep your eyes open for some species that you don't recognize, and let's get identifying.
Yeah, I will definitely keep my eye out for something new. We are starting to run out a little bit, aren't we? I'm sure there is still plenty of undiscovered species here, but we just need to look a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are hiding away there, and we do have some of our personal ones, both Pat and I, that we are on our wish list, so you never know what you're going to see. There is comments, I wonder if the two turtles are around, and they will be around somewhere, but it would be great to bump into some of the residents that we've not seen in quite a while. It's been a while since we've seen Patch and Mowgli and many other hawksbills, so it'd be great to see them and check in on them.
So I'm just down here on the sand because I think our best chance of finding a new species will be down here in the little nooks and crannies of the rocks here on the sand.
Yeah, and that funny structure you see, we often pass it. It is just a metal structure that has been placed by the dive centre Don Foster's here, and it navigates the way back to shore. So it is a scuba diver pointing back to shore, but it also, I guess, acts as an artificial reef. Many corals will grow on it, and you can see lots of fish hiding out on it. just in case anyone wondered what that was. So under these ledges, there's definitely a chance to see some lobsters or moray eels. We do have a request for a porcupine fish, Pat.
Oh, yes. We used to see porcupine fish all the time, but in recent dives, we haven't really been seeing them that much, so I'd love to spend some time with one. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while since we've spent time with the porcupine fish. And Philip Paul was just asking the only caution and shark bait. And that's 2 days in a row that we have been fighting over there.
They were feasting. Much fighting today, but they definitely could. You could sense there would have been a bit of a dispute, but Brett was being a little bit of a scaredy cat.
Yeah, and Katrina's asking for a frogfish, and that is probably the #1 at the top of my list. I'm crazy about those fish, and I've been reading up. They are present in the Caribbean, but we have not sighted any, and I don't believe they're very common around here, but you never know.
So we are heading out a bit deeper now. We started at about 6 metres, and now we are at 12. So we've gone down to about 40 plus feet now, and we will head all the way out to the centre and have a look for that nurse shark, and maybe even an eagle ray. Probably most likely a stingray. We have been seeing lots lately, but right here in front of us we have a queen angelfish.
Oh, nicely snazzling colours there. And just on that, Pat, I have something to share with you. Take Care suggested that you need to kit yourself out with some snazzy disco-coloured wetsuit, just like the Scottish lassie. I would love to see.
Very snazzy wetsuits. Unfortunately for me, I just have the plain black, but I don't know. Maybe I need to expand my horizons a bit.
I would love you to see you in pink, Pat. And on that, there will be more divers other than me tomorrow, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, and they will be wearing a whole variety of colours.
Yeah, yes. So tomorrow is International Women's Divers Day, and I'm very excited for it. I'm going to be joined by some very gorgeous divers. I will be on the surface, but they are all going to be down there, and I believe we may even have a special visit from a mermaid.
It's all very exciting tomorrow, and it's all in honour of Paddy's International Women's Day, to celebrate women that scuba dive and show passion for the ocean. Without any blue, there wouldn't be any green, the famous quote by Sylvia Earle, who is one of the leaders in the celebrating the day tomorrow, so please join us. Now, Pat, we do have a really interesting question that I'm sure many people are actually interested in. Cherry's asking, do you have any suggestions for keeping your mask from fogging up?
Well, for me, I tend to go the traditional method. It's the most organic method, and I just spit in my mask, rub it around and flush it out, and that's it. But if you don't think that that's the most, I don't know, the least gross way to do it, then you can get baby shampoo and put that in your mask and rinse it out before you dive. There's also special anti-fogging things you can get, and sometimes even when you buy your mask straight away, there's stuff that you can rub in it and leave it overnight that tends to work pretty well. I have also heard of people burning their masks with a lighter. There's a special way to do that. I haven't done it myself, so I don't know the exact method, but I have also heard of that. So there's plenty of ways that you can keep your mask from fogging.
Yeah, I personally use baby shampoo. That's the perfect one for me. And just a little tip, if you are having trouble, most tempered glass masks, not the plastic ones, the glass ones, actually come with a really thin layer of silicone on it. So you do have to burn it off. That might be the reason it's fogging a lot. Once you've burnt it with either a lighter or really harsh toothpaste, it should be good to go.
So we have a cowfish here, and it looks like it is missing a horn. So if you look just above its eyes there, you can see that there is one horn on its right hand side, but on the left it is missing one. Now,
I think we've seen this before, Pat.
Sorry?
I think we've seen this one before.
We have. I reckon we have. And it was around this area of the reef that we saw it too. So this may be that same one. Now they are also called cowfish because of these horns making them look like a bull. And it looks like it's being gently prodded away there by the damselfish. That was not quite as aggressive as we usually see them attack, but it was still definitely getting it to go away.
Yeah, those damselfish are just so naughty. Size is no issue for them whatsoever. So around this cowfish, you can see tiny little micro shrimps. Oh!
Wow, this damselfish really doesn't like it. And we can see now that it's been threatened. It's changed its colour to a really vibrant blue. Can you see that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So they can change, well, they can brighten this blue colour and darken it depending on what they're using it for. So obviously here we can see it did it because it's threatened. Sometimes they can do it to warn other males to stay away, and they also turn really bright blue when they are mating. So I was lucky enough to experience this exact species mating with another one. They both went very bright blue. They start circling with each other in the water, and then they release their sperm and eggs, and that was that. So they are called broadcast spawners. And what this means is that, well, they don't have a penis or a vagina like humans do. They have internal gonads. And so they must kind of spray their gametes, their sperm and eggs, into the water rather than actually inserting anything.
Thanks for that, Pat. Yes, they are indeed broadcast spawners. And John, we have seen your request for Scolimia, so we will be on the lookout for them and we will show you some. I do realise you ask for that a lot, so we will point it out.
What was that, sorry?
It's called Scolimia. It's like a fleshy coral. So if you do see any artichoke corals, let's point them out for John.
Okay, most definitely.
And Cindy is requesting a mermaid, and I promise you will get a mermaid tomorrow morning on the first dive. So please tune in. The visibility looks incredible, much better than earlier.
Yeah. So you were really lucky earlier, Lauren, in terms of content. But in terms of visibility, I think you had it pretty bad because it's looking a lot better. We can see there is a lot of plankton still kind of stirred up, but I would say it's probably about 20 metres visibility right now, so about 65 feet, which is great. So let's move over to this bommy over here and have a look around, because generally these isolated bommies, the ones that sit kind of in the middle of sand patches, have been super productive lately. We've been finding a lot of cool, interesting little critters here. And of course, I'm going to be on the lookout for that new species as well.
We have a really good question here for you, Pat.
Yeah.
Philip is asking, have you ever encountered any throw out the textbook moments? Any magical, amazing moments that were unexpected?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me think about that.
Well, while you're thinking, John actually breeds Scolimia, so that's why he's asking for them. So it would be amazing if you could upload a photo of the ones that you breed. I know you're not able to do that on YouTube, but on Twitter or Facebook, we'd love to see them.
Yeah, most definitely. So I haven't really seen anything unexplainable here. I have seen, well, one of the most cool things I think I've seen was two male parrotfish fighting each other. And at the time, I actually thought it was two parrotfish doing a mating dance. But when we reviewed the footage, it turned out that they were both females. So they were mating. They weren't mating, they were fighting but they had their mouths interlocked, so it looked like they were kissing each other. So that was a pretty fascinating moment for me.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a great moment. And a really good question, Philip. Put us on the spot. Craig is asking about your use of the word bommies, and yes, it is correct to say bombing. It is more of an unofficial term, you know, a coral bombing, but it is used quite a lot in the diving industry, and Pat's Australian accent turns it to bommy, but it is the same thing that he's referring to.
So I found something interesting on this root sponge here. It's got a real white patch, but it doesn't seem to be... I'm not sure what's happening here. It doesn't look like it's been fed upon. Perhaps it's some sort of disease. I'll move out of the way here so you can get in.
I can see that too. How fascinating.
So perhaps it's been overgrown with some form of algae, or I really don't know.
I don't know either when it comes to sponges. I'm not aware of any diseases that attack sponges like this. But you can really see it down to a sort of fleshy level, if you like. What do you think it really could be, Pat?
I honestly do not know. I guess it's definitely something... I mean, it's not something that the sponge has done itself. It doesn't appear to be a different coloration of the sponge. It looks like something's definitely caused this to happen. Whether it's disease or algal overgrowth, I'm not sure. It doesn't appear to be feeding either. So I really do not know.
I have actually just had a look at the book. Didn't know this previously, but apparently there is a white patch disease that is attacking sponges in the Caribbean.
Okay.
So I can't confirm that that is exactly that, but it's definitely something we'll need to look into. And sadly, there's so many diseases that are attacking the coral right now, and they're mainly human-induced, but I'm really not sure about this one. Fascinating find.
Yeah. Always seeing something different down here. Even if it is something bad, like a bit of decay, it is still fascinating and interesting. So let's come up over the top of this bommy and see what we can see.
And Cindy was asking, do we have any shipwrecks here, Pat?
Yes, we do. So we have the Kitty Lake, which is a very famous dive site here. It was sunken for diving and is still in really good shape, and you can actually go in and around it. Now we also have the Oro Verde, which isn't in such good condition, but it's still an awesome dive. And there are other small barges and wrecks around the place, but they are the main two that I know of, and they're both really, really cool dives.
So Nathaniel was asking what that red thing was, and it was a rope sponge, a type of sponge that appeared to be showing some element of disease. And Richard is asking what kind of disease it is, and honestly, I will be completely honest with you, I have no idea. I definitely will have to read up on that. I wasn't particularly aware that sponges could show disease like that. And it is apparently becoming widespread in the Caribbean region now, so I will check up on that for you.
So right in front of us we have a little school of goatfish. Now, what they are doing right now is feeding in the sand. So they have two little barbells that come down underneath their chin. And what they use this for is for sensing what is in the sand. So they'll stick them in the sand and poke through and see what they can find. When they find it, they'll go in and they'll eat it. And that is why we can also see this silver barjack hanging around with them, because it will actually kind of use these guys to find food for them. They know that they don't have the sensory organs, so they may as well stick around the ones that do.
Yeah, we can really see those two barbells right underneath their chin, if you like. And this is the yellow goatfish. So Jan was asking, do we get tuna here, Pat?
I know that they do offshore, but tuna are pelagic fish, so you won't actually find them here on the reef, but they do get them offshore. About, you'd have to travel a few kilometres at least offshore to find them, though, in the very deep, dark waters.
Elaine was asking, what are the bluefish? So, hi, Mum. I do believe the bluefish are the blue chromis. Oh, we have a different one. This is a blue tang. So this is a very closely related relative of Dory in the famous movie Finding Nemo.
Yes, and they are herbivores. As we can see right now, it's picking the algae off the sand here. And it's not weird to see it by itself, but they do also hang out in schools, and they also will hang out in pairs or threes as well, so there's no real knowing what you're going to see it with. Sometimes solitary, sometimes in a few, sometimes schools of up to 60 or 70.
I was just going to say that, Pat. It is quite unusual to see it on its own. They do have different social complexes, but to see a blue tang alone on the sand like that is actually unusual.
Sorry, we're just gonna get this rope, the cord from around the rope here, so just bear with us for a second. Alright, we're free, we are good.
Good to go. So we are getting questioned about mermaid again. People are very interested in mermaids, so just a reminder to tune in tomorrow, and there will be more than one mermaid in the water, so make sure you don't miss it. Set a reminder.
Yes, most definitely. It will be a day of diving not to be missed.
So it's a great thing to come and check out these bombings. You literally never know what will be hiding out here. We can see an urchin sticking out there.
Oh yes, that's sticking out quite prominently. So urchins are echinoderms. And echinoderms are a phylum. So a phylum is just a way of grouping organisms. It's all based on taxonomical classification. And phylum is pretty high up there. So we go right down to species and there's orders. And so the echinoderm includes, so they're quite a diverse grouping of organisms when you're really definitely one of them. And now, a really cool thing about how sea urchins feed is that they have a special jaw complex called Aristotle's land.
Sure, I don't need to explain where this name came from. It's obviously a spiny animal, just like a hedgehog. But the spines do go all around the test, which is the globular body, which is dissimilar to a hedgehog, I guess. Hey, Pat, we have some fascinating questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
James is asking, hi James, it's good to see you on here. I know that sergeant majors have purpley blue eggs. Is there any other species on the reef with quite colourful looking eggs?
Not that I have seen. So sergeant major eggs are pretty unique in that they stay attached. They don't actually broadcast them into the water like most species do. So I can't think of any others, but if we do stumble across a sergeant major egg patch, I will point them out for anyone who doesn't know. But do you know of any other colourful eggs?
In terms of fish, not necessarily, but the most beautiful eggs I've ever came across in my life is the nudibranch egg cases. They lay them almost like a rose flower. They lay them round in circles, and they're normally beautiful colours such as pink and reds and oranges, and you would not guess it's eggs from nudibranch. So yes, eggs can be really brightly coloured.
Ooh, I think I found a Shy Hamlet here.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it looks like it's got the same
Oh
markings.
no, I think we just had an adult drum or jackknife there as well.
Oh, really? Well, let's stay with that one then. Yeah.
So hold on, I'm just going to make sure I don't get this one wrong.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so wow, how beautiful. I haven't seen one this big before, so this is either a spotted drum or a jackknife fish. I'm assuming a spotted drum because of the spots on its tail. But it looks kind of in between its juvenile and its adult form.
I can confirm it is the full adult form of the spotted drum, which we have never showed you on diveLIVE. We only ever managed to see the juveniles, which don't have any spots. So there you go, there is the adult.
That is beautiful. How amazing is this fish? So when they're smaller, they look very similar, but that spot fin is actually even longer, and their tail is short. Well, it's still long, but a lot thinner and more extended, so it looks really ribbony. And it lacks these spots that we're seeing towards the base of the tail.
To be honest, it's very different from the juvenile phase and not quite so attractive. They do lose that sort of elegant elongated fins and they develop spots. So what a great find.
Yeah, awesome spotting. I'm not gonna lie here. Emil can take the credit for that one. I was off looking at this hamlet, but What an amazing looking fish.
It does look like it's behaving a lot like the juvenile, just swimming in these sort of circles. I mean, they are nocturnal, but the juveniles do the same thing.
Yeah, and they also tend to hang out just under ledges and tend to stick to the shadows a bit.
So is there any chance to find that hamlet again?
Yeah, I'll go back to where I saw it. It was just around here.
That would be great if it was a shy hamlet.
So it might be a yellow belly, but I haven't seen the markings on the face like this one with the yellow belly hamlet. There's also a possibility it could be a hybrid. Hamlets do hybridize, and that means that two separate species can produce offspring together.
I was really hoping it would be the shy because we haven't seen that one on a live dive, but it is definitely the yellow belly hamlet.
It is. So I just thought from the markings on the face, because I haven't seen the yellow belly with the blue lines, but oh well, not to be disappointed, they are still very cool fish. That is that they are hermaphrodites. And what this means is that they have both female and male reproductive organs. So when they do come together to mate, one will assume the role of the female and one will assume the role of a male.
Yes, a weird and wonderful ocean. And this is hamlets, Hamlet, and this is a yellow belly hamlet.
Oh, gee whiz. I really apologise, everyone, but I have run through my air and I am now on 50 bar, so it is time to end the dive. I don't know how that happened. I must have been breathing a lot. But thank you all for joining me. It has been a very pleasant dive. Please make sure if you're going to watch any dive live that's tomorrow. It's going to be a very special day, International Women's Day. Lauren's going to be diving with you off the boat. We're going to have a lot of special female guests down with her. And as we have been saying, you may even see a mermaid or two. So I hope you can all join us 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. Grand Cayman time. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Pat. Yes, please join us, especially for the first dive tomorrow at 7 a.m. Grand Cayman time. Until then, see you later.